Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Interesting to talk about the Chequers plan and demand the SNP get behind it. Well, I'll be interested to hear when the Conservative Party gets behind it. The Conservative Party have at least 6 different views on the Chequers plan, but I'm not going to waste time on the Conservative Party's internal difficulties, which at every turn they try and reflect onto others who are trying to do the right thing for Scotland. Our food and drink fortnight is an absolutely excellent example of Scotland, I think, coming together, and mostly this debate has done so, to promote the great quality food that we produce in our country. I agree with Mr Chapman about the importance of salmon farming. It's by no means the only food and drink export we have. We've heard from others about it. Our vision as a good food nation is one which in this year of young people we should relate to the contribution of future generations in particular. James Withers, the Chief Executive at Scotland Food and Drink, said, "Now is an exciting time to be involved in the sector in Scotland. The opportunity for the next generation to raise the bar even higher is hugely compelling." And I absolutely agree with James. On Tuesday this week, Austin Wilkins joined me as a new intern from the United States, and he's told me he participated at secondary school in an organisation known as the Future Farmers of America. That organisation seeks to educate people on where their food comes from and to value their food better. Apparently, when surveying a group, the one person asked whether only brown cows can make chocolate milk. That's a classic example, humorous as it might seem to be, of the disconnect between people's understanding of food and the real importance of food. We've got a huge number of people, perhaps just approaching 20,000 people in our food and drink business. We've 20,000 businesses employing well over 100,000. But Brexit, whatever its outcome, is currently overhanging our industry and its success. I only need to think of live langoustines, the premium product that comes from the northeast largely, that go on the buggy to Boulogne-sur-Mer market once a week. If they arrive at 8 o'clock in the morning, they get the price that they command by the quality that they are. If they're delayed even till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they get half the price they would have got at 8 o'clock in the morning. The real challenge is how long are they going to be waiting in the queues to get into France and get to Boulogne-sur-Mer. That is the real practical risks if we don't get Brexit right. Now, geographic indication status is very important to many of our great Scottish products. Scotch whisky, in particular, is one which has been well regarded around the world for well over a century, since the 1915 Immature Spirits Act, which my cousin took through, was responsible for in Parliament. The whisky has been kept in bond, and that has improved its quality. Previously, I referred to the desire of the American whisky industry to have us abandon that 3-year storage and go down to 1 to level the playing field with them. There are challenges to whisky around the world. When I first went to Nepal many years ago and I walked down the Durbar Marg, the main street in Kathmandu, you could see in the windows something that superficially looked like VAT 69 whisky, but it wasn't. It was CAT 69 with a K carefully drawn to obscure the fact that it was Nepalese whisky. We are copied all over the place. There's a huge second-hand market in Johnny Walker bottles in India. And when I asked for whisky in Burma 40 years ago, it was purported to be Scotch whisky, but had the faint flavour of paraffin. It had been made out the back the night before. One of our great industries in my constituency that sounds as if it's a simple one is potatoes. Seed potatoes in my constituency is an 8-figure-a-year industry. It's one of many. Let's support them all. Presiding Officer.